series, and on today's video, we'll be continuing the KaiserOst series. As we know in the last episode, World War. Not a world war yet, but maybe soon. Well, they're marching in to Ukraine and Belarusian areas. The Germans are in a bit of a bad position, and they could end up that surrender. But with the Japanese Empire not liking the Arab League taking some territories they claim to be in their zone, which includes the German territories that they claim are actually Germany's. They claim it as something they need to liberate with the Indonesian War. With it not really being occupied, so it was easy to take over. And wanting to make more puppets, well, they choose to go somewhere else. Russia still wants lands from, well, Germany, and lots of it, including Moscow. Japan starts moving into their shared border with this Muslim pact, and they're moving into Kazakhstan. India believes that they can have a better favored area. But Russia also wants lands back from Japan. With them getting fed up, this team, after days and days and days of issues. With Russia declaring war first, followed by Britain and France, followed by India and Tibet, followed by Australia and New Zealand, followed by Canada. With them deciding two areas to quickly occupy. And quickly Britain lands in Iceland. And not long after, Canada's moving into Greenland, which quickly is forced into capitulation. With the French colonies moving into Spanish Morocco. With France moving into northern Spain. This sends chaos through the entire front line. Well, they even advance into German territories, former German territories, as they advance deeper into Spain. And with the Battle of Cameroon breaking out, which this colony is starting to want independence. So they easily allow Britain in, demanding independence after. With Germany in a bad spot, as they're getting pushed out of this area, and they're at risk for being encircled, so they start withdrawing troops. With Britain making another one of these along with the Arab Pact. With this area almost fully getting out, with most of the troops getting out. And they get completely wiped out of this area. With everybody seeing this as a failure for Germany. But the German colonial area is starting to have some success. But let's see how the front with Japan goes. Russia starts moving into northern Manchuria, which doesn't have many troops, has just enough, a defensive amount. That's why Russia isn't moving in fast, but they kick Japan out of this area. And this area, Indonesia, starts becoming, Australia takes over German Papua. So at this point we can see the Germans are starting to collapse. And let's see how Australia can do. They managed to take all of these islands and Star Island. I don't know what the actual name of it is, so I'm going to call it Star Island. And that area is the wrong color. And they decide they can move into Thailand. As they move in and quickly take Bangkok from Siam or Thailand. I don't know when it changed its name. But they start pushing down into Thailand, and they start moving into the central Chinese puppet of Japan. And Japan is in quite a bit of trouble due to having to fight so many fronts. But Germany's probably worse off than Japan. With Russia moving in and seizing Ulaanbaatar. Mongolia surrenders, but Japan occupies it, basically all of it, because if they don't, well, Russia will cut them out from their new occupied areas. With the Arabs, along with India, not Arabs, Muslim backed, along with India moving into Xinjiang, but not fully kicking Japan out, but kicking them out of Kazakhstan, but not fully out of Xinjiang. That front's collapsing. With Belarus resisting strongly. And so does the Baltic puppets, because they don't want to be back under Russian dominance. With them being forced to fall, Russia's on Germany's border, but not for long, as Germany pushes them back to here, about to Riga and into Belarus. With some countries happy about this collapse, and some are really in shock. With Serbia, no, Serbia doesn't do that. That sounds very unrealistic, to be honest. With them deciding to take out the Greek puppet. And guess what? The Suez Canal is now blocked from the Germans. With Finland fighting back, but this does not... But once spring comes and winter is over, Russia starts more advances into Finland. With Germany managing to hold them there. And while Spain is now invaded from the south and the north, and while Madrid and Barcelona quickly falls, Madrid because Barcelona was already captured, they move in, encircle Lisbon, and push in. Spain has now collapsed. And they start taking more islands in the Mediterranean. With Germany's end being near. With Russia moving faster into Manchuria, as Japanese forces are getting routed in the east. With Japan deciding to retreat out of Mongolia to about here, and then they get pushed out of here. Once they get pushed to about here, they decide to do that. And well, Mongolia eventually fully falls. And Australia moves into some more islands in this area occupied by Japan and allies, such as Malaysia after they broke free of places. And yeah, Germany's getting kicked out of this region. And nobody really likes it. Japan is getting kicked out of Asia. Japan is thinking about getting a peace treaty, but they realize no. That they don't want to give up all of their gained lands. Germany's starting to have problems in Africa. But not only that, in the Benelux. And that's not good. They're starting to lose in Benelux. And with nobody to save them, they're in a lot of trouble as Italy's front pushes further and they're pushing up in the south. Albania collapses, if it's still a country. Bulgaria is getting invaded. Romania is getting invaded. I feel like Romania is the only one that has a realistic chance of switching sides because, well, there's a few reasons. Well, Serbia wouldn't have much to gain at this point. And, well, Romania does. And, well, Serbia is getting invaded, and they don't like it. And, well, Italy they're moving deeper into. Ukraine is about to collapse. So Germany's in trouble, as they have to occupy basically everywhere in this front. With Sweden probably being in the best stance against Germany. In Africa, they're holding off because, well, they dominate southern Africa. And in Japan, Manchukuo's starting to collapse. As Japan decides to put more troops there, Vietnam is now about to collapse. With the fall of Vietnam and the Yunnan puppet, Well, then comes a kick out of East China. Wait, would that be East? No, that'd be West China. And yeah, with Japan seeing they're in a losing battle. And well, this is not a good position to be in. They even lose one of their islands, as Russia's idea is to take it over and form pro-Russia areas, with Finland in trouble as Russia moves and steals Helsinki in about a few months, and the battle lasted a week. And while Britain lands in southern Norway and takes Oslo, and well, they're in trouble. I would say Germany might be about to surrender. And while Russia starts pushing towards Poland, with Hungary likely at this point to leave. Hungary leaves the war along with Serbia. Poland falls, and that. With Germany moving to try and control some more land. But at this point, well, southern Germany is in trouble. But it's more so Italy. And Germany might be too far in to leave. With Rome getting encircled and then falling. This is what Italy now looks like. And well, the collapse of Germany is not probably going to happen today in today's video, but let's go to Africa once more, with German colonies declaring independence and leaving and surrendering, with German Central Africa being more owned by Germany, so they can't really leave, but they do decide to leave in them. And while the British push into the Portuguese colonies isn't good at all, with South Africa, the puppet, declaring independence. And they take the Cape from the Netherlands and they start moving into Portugal's colonies. And no forces are left here, so well, yeah. German forces basically all left to get back to Germany. But most of them get caught in the Channel. In the English Channel and the North Sea. With everything but Germany being wiped off. And Russia starts an offensive into East Germany. And well, this is actually a success. With Königsberg falling, and well, they connect over with the Western forces, and they take Vienna, leaving the front like this, with France and Britain moving deeper into the Rhine and Western Germany. Yeah. And well, the puppets in China are starting to think of not fighting. With Japan ending up after a month longer of fighting to here. And losing this, and they even lost their most northern island. So it's likely they may surrender. But that's all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys!